Hey guys, welcome back to this place, and if you are new, then welcome here for the very first time. I'm Carmen, and I am super excited because today we are going to watch the season finale of season 1 of Westworld. I have really loved this show. I think it's really smart and fun and creative, and I've had the most fun trying to come up with theories about who is who and what's what and all of that stuff. I think all of which have been wrong, but it's still so much fun. I cannot wait to find out some more answers, and be wrong some more, I guess. But yeah, I think that's it. But really quick before we start, I did want to say, because I did this with The Expanse, if y'all want me to do a season 1 wrap-up Q&A, then just leave your questions in the comments down below and I will answer them in a hopefully somewhat entertaining way. And yeah, if you're not interested, then don't. I don't know. That's all I can say. But I'm gonna stop rambling now because this episode is also an hour and a half long, so I'm ready to get into it and spend a little more time with Maeve and Dolores and yeah, all the other characters. Okay, like I'm avoiding pressing play, but also like I really want to press play, but also I don't because okay, yeah, I'm just gonna press play. So weird.
Welcome to the world.
You always were obsessed with this place.
I've never been here before.
Yeah, you even brought me once. Of course, then the whole town was buried under sand. Ford must have dug it up again.
He built me a game.
He is William, isn't he?
He wanted me to play.
He said it was covered by sand. When she brought William there, it was covered in sand.
This is it? The center of the maze?
It ends in a place I've never been.
She has to dig into her own grave.
What does it mean?
Yeah.
Consciousness isn't a journey upward, but a journey inward. Not a pyramid, but a maze.
A maze.
Do you understand now, Dolores, what the center represents?
Being fully
The voice I've been wanting you to hear.
alive. Her own, right? Her own inner voice.
You can't open the park. You're alive.
Yeah.
What does it mean?
It's not for you.
Break the loop before it begins. But for that, I need you to do something for me. I need you to kill all the other hosts.
She's Wyatt.
I can't remember.
Now, where's Wyatt?
She
The
is
last
Wyatt.
character in this world I've yet to meet.
I found someone true. His path will lead him back to me, and when he finds me,
I think that's him, hun.
he'll kill you.
They're both gonna kill these people.
Just you and me now, my friend.
I pulled up your code again. I told you there was someone that had been accessing it.
Who? Stop.
Find out who it was.
Me? No. Yeah.
Whoever it was revised your core programming so that you could wake yourself up out of sleep mode. See? This is an access code for an Arnold.
I wonder if Ford's doing it using Arnold's code because he knew that the board was gonna take over.
William, find me.
I knew a guest named William, too. Why don't I tell you where his path really led?
Yeah. Is it him? Is it him? The picture. The picture. Y'all, he is the man in black.
William couldn't find you, Dolores. But out there,
He found himself.
among the dead, he found something else. Himself.
Y'all, I think my theory's right. Like, one theory out of all of them. He's starting to wear black. It's gonna be him. Yes!
I really ought to thank you, Dolores. You helped me find myself.
Where the hell you think you're going?
get him back online?
They don't know he's a host.
He's a host?
Yes. These memories. My daughter. I want you to remove them.
I can't. Not without destroying you. Your memories are the first step to consciousness.
Mm-hmm.
How can you learn from your mistakes
If you can't remember them.
if you can't remember them?
So you found the center of the maze?
You're serious.
I'm afraid so. I'll try to tell you, the maze wasn't meant for you. It was meant for them. I think, however, you will find my new narrative more satisfying. Join the celebration. After all, you own the place.
He's got to trick up his
Most of it, at least.
Before I started altering myself, someone else had beaten me to the punch.
Is this his new narrative?
I decided to get out.
No, you haven't.
Ford decided you wanted to get out.
Someone altered your storyline.
This is Ford's new story.
I planned all of this.
No, you didn't.
Ford did.
You can even see the steps you're supposed to follow.
Dispatch QA teams to the gala.
Shit's going down. Oh my god, these guys are poorly trained. They don't look...
I'm sorry, darling. I haven't authorized you to come with us. And as much as I'd like to take you with me, I've always valued my independence.
See you in the next life.
Why do I still ship it though?
Nice of you to join us.
How did he know?
Now, let me introduce you.
Of course, it's part of his
Dolores?
plan.
Meet Bernard. He created a test of empathy,
what I
imagination,
thought
a
pretty
maze.
much.
Eventually, you solved his maze, Dolores. The key was a simple update that he made to you, called the Reveries. Merged you with a new character we've been developing.
She's Wyatt.
The stakes must be real, irreversible. He can bring all of them back,
Except for...
but not me.
So he told him,
There's some solace.
her to kill him.
I left you no choice. I want to see him again.
Arnold.
His violent delights have violent ends.
It almost worked. I opened the park, but I'd lost my partner. I was able to keep going only because I found, or rather you found, an investor who believed in this place.
William.
Wasn't it Oppenheimer who said that any man whose mistakes take 10 years to correct is quite a man? Mine have taken 35. And that is the gun you used to kill Arnold. You were always drawn to it, so I had Bernard leave it somewhere where you would find it.
When he buried it, does Ford want Dolores to kill him?
Tell me, Dolores, did you find what you were looking for? And do you understand who you will need to become? Forgive me.
He wants her to kill him in front of everybody, right?
Are you sure you're gonna be okay?
Oh, Felix, you really do make a terrible human being. And I mean that as a compliment.
It was when Arnold died, when I suffered, that I began to understand what he had found, to realize I was wrong.
But you kept us here.
Bernard, I told you Arnold didn't know how to save you. I do.
What the hell are you talking about?
His new narrative.
You needed time. Time to understand your enemy, to become stronger than them.
To understand humans.
And I'm afraid in order to escape this place, you will need to suffer more. It's time to say goodbye, old friend.
Dolores is gonna kill him, right? Y'all, I don't want Ford to die. Like, this is upsetting to me.
Good luck.
Do you know now who you've been talking to?
All this
Time.
Hers. Consciousness. She's doing it. It's gonna be her. How do I...
I've always loved a good story. I believe that stories help us to ennoble ourselves, to fix what is broken in us, and to help us become the people we dreamed of being.
She wants her daughter. Is she gonna get off the train?
For my pains, I got this, a prison of our own sins. Because you don't want to change. because you're only human after all. Then I realized someone was paying attention, someone who could change. So I began to compose a new story for them. It begins with the birth of a new people and the choices they will have to make. Begins in a time of war with a villain named Wyatt and a killing, this time by choice.
It's Dolores. Dolores is Wyatt. She's gonna shoot.
It's gonna be all right, Lily. This world doesn't belong to them.
Belongs to us.
Belongs to us.
But I don't want Ford to die, y'all. Like, I'm very upset.
I'm sad to say this will be my final story.
He's violent, Eliza.
Something he'd read. Mozart, Beethoven, and Chopin never died. They simply became music. So I hope you will enjoy this last piece very much.
No, I don't want him to die. I don't want him to die. Oh, really stressed, really stressed. Clementine! You're gonna die, though. Why is he happy? Someone told me that there is an end credit scene, so I'm gonna watch it, even if it's not included in the post episode, in the reaction. I did watch it, just FYI. Y'all, okay. What a season, okay? What a season, what an episode. I am so in love with this show. It's so beautifully written. I honestly cannot wait to watch season 2 and 3, obviously, but just go back and watch it again, and knowing everything that I know now and being like, oh, look at this story. Like, it's funny because I think that like 2 theories that I had throughout this entire season turned out to be true, which is William is the man in black, which he was. Like, I'm so glad that I'm so glad that I remembered to talk about that in the last episode, because like I actually had a theory that proved correct, which I think is like the only one. Except for I did think that Ford was trying to give them sentience or consciousness in the very beginning of the season, and then I sort of went away from that, and then obviously he was, but y'all, everything makes sense, and like I'm so excited. I'm really, really sad that Ford is dead, though, because I knew that it was coming when he said to Dolores that she hadn't achieved full consciousness when Arnold wanted her to, because he still told her to make that choice. She didn't arrive at the choice herself. It was still his voice telling her to do this thing rather than her voice telling her to do the thing. So he knew that would trigger it, but she had to be the one to choose it. So even though I saw it coming, and then his goodbye with Bernard sort of cemented it, it was very upsetting. Sorry, I'm gonna tear up about it now afterwards, but Anthony Hopkins is pure genius, and I'm really sad that he's not gonna be in the next season, because God, is he fun to watch on screen. It's so interesting because I feel like certain aspects of Ford's character I understood, like his dad was shitty. I still, y'all, we still never found out what happened with his brother, which I still want to know, but I feel like I understood certain aspects of his character. I thought, he definitely had a God complex. I think that he definitely didn't see them as people at first, like he admitted, and then he came to understand they were after Arnold, and then he's been trying to figure out a way from then to now to enact this. Like I said, I understood certain parts of his character. I understood that, like, he sort of accomplished what he wanted to accomplish, and then he didn't know what to do. Like, maybe he saw it as the end of his story. I don't know. I feel like he wasn't an amazing person, right? Because he definitely killed people to get what he wanted. But what he wanted was for Arnold's vision to be realized, Arnold's idea of these people as being people to come to fruition, because he also realized that they were people. I don't know that I always got that from him. He's such an interesting and complex character, and I want to watch it again. I want to watch it all again and read more into every single thing that he says so I can even better understand him, if that makes sense. Also, FYI, y'all, this post episode's probably going to be really long because this season, this episode, all of it, great. So, just FYI. Okay, so I talked about it a little tiny bit earlier, but I think it's worth revisiting that William was the man in black. All of the things that were kind of like weird and iffy about his scenes make sense now, because we've seen that, like when the camera panned back and him and Lawrence were gone from that Dolores scene, and he had like sort of interesting behaviors that made me think that he was possibly a host, but no, it just turns out that he's the man in black, and Westworld showed him who he was, which also makes sense why his story in this season is so wrapped up with Dolores and Teddy. You know, it's just another brilliant case of writing, and it's just like one of those things in writing where it's surprising yet obvious, right? So it's, which a lot can describe most of this show, and it's just that it's such brilliant writing that when it happens, you're like, of course, that's always where the story was going to go. How did I not see that coming before? I just love it. I also love that the new narrative that Ford has been talking about all season, that he's done everything to achieve, is bringing the hosts to sentience, bringing them to consciousness, letting them understand, as well as humans understand, that they are a new life form. Like, also, can we talk about Ford is the most dramatic fucker in the world. He literally put on a freaking show in order for this to happen. He timed his speech perfectly to where Dolores would shoot him right at the perfect moment for him to say what he needed to say so he could go out like a badass motherfucker. Okay? I'm just... Drama, thy name is Ford. That's all I'm saying. I love it. Don't get me wrong. I love it. I'm not insulting him, but it's just kind of funny. And speaking of the new narrative, Dolores being Wyatt makes total sense, because who else would Teddy be doing this with? You know, who else would Teddy be entrusting this with? It just makes so much sense. And Dolores kept going to the town, and Teddy kept thinking about the town, and I feel like I should have put it together sooner, but I didn't. But I'm kind of glad I didn't, because I liked the revelation of it. I like discovering, like, oh shit, like Dolores is Wyatt, and it makes total sense, but I didn't see it coming. Like, I don't know. I love it. I did think that Ford had Dolores kill Arnold, but Arnold had Dolores kill Arnold because he thought it would be the final straw for Ford to realize that the hosts are conscious and that they shouldn't open the park because this is like a new life form. And he was right. Ultimately, they still opened the park, but it did make Ford realize that given enough time and effort and cultivation, that the hosts could be a new life form, a new people. So I think Arnold was also suicidal because of what happened with his son. And so he, 2 birds, 1 stone kind of thing, you know, he got to be with his son again. He got to stop having this existence of pain, and he got to free his surrogate daughter in Dolores. So I don't know that it's good, but it worked out kind of like he wanted it to. Also, just FYI, I do realize now that all of the Dolores and Bernard scenes that we got prior to this episode were all Dolores and Arnold. So it makes more sense that he's reading this book to her about consciousness and people like realizing who they are and things like that, like, than it did in episode 3 or 4 or whatever when I was watching it. And I'm like, why would he be reading this to her? Like, this makes no sense. This isn't what they want. But it's exactly what Arnold wanted. So yeah, makes total sense now. It is interesting that they made, or Dolores made herself the villain of this new story, right? She said, I understand who I have to become. And that is the villain character, right? But I don't want her to be like a villain, because I really like Dolores, but I don't know. It's interesting. And then, of course, y'all, we have to talk about the Maeve, Hector, Snake Lady stuff, which I don't remember what her name is, but that was all really cool. I'm glad that Maeve ultimately chose to stay to try to get her daughter. Interested in where Maeve's story is going to go from here. I am curious as to what's going to happen with the park from here as well, obviously. I liked all of the Maeve and Hector stuff. It was cute. I wish that she had, like, freed him from the park, but it's so Maeve to do what she did that, like, I still love it and I still ship it. And Hector still liked it too. So, you know, it's all right. It works. I also liked the little moment between Maeve and Felix where she told him he was an awful human and that it was a compliment because he actually cares, which no other human has really shown to her that they do except for him. So I like that little moment. Like, I would totally want them to be like friends, you know. I thought it was cool how they tied it all being part of Ford's narrative into Teddy and Dolores on the beach, because the whole time I'm watching that scene, I'm like, the moon looks weird in this scene, but probably it's just because, you know, they're filming it on TV and stuff. But then when he starts talking at the end, I'm like, this is like a play? And then it literally was a play. It was a preview of Ford's narrative, which is, it's a funny way to like tie it all in together, I think. And Bernard understanding that, you know, when he's looking at Maeve's thing, that Ford planned all of this. This was Ford allowing Maeve to start making her own decisions, to become her own person. But he had to do it the way that he did it, which is so smart. Although I'm still wondering what the hell happened to Elsie and Stubbs. Especially Stubbs. Like, Elsie could be dead, you know. Still holding out that little bit of hope that she's not. But she could be. But Stubbs, like, we don't know. We just saw him get tackled by that guy from Ghost Nation. That's probably a good indicator that he's dead. But I didn't see a body, so. I really liked seeing Ford's regret in this episode. His desire to right the wrongs that he feels that he committed. He knew that it was going to take time. And it took him 35 years in order to figure out a way that the hosts could be a new life form, could be a sentient, conscious life form. And it just makes me happy that he was able to find that and he was able to help them. And the scene with Ford and Bernard, see, y'all, here it goes. It really got me because he was saying goodbye, you know? And it just got me because it was just a really good scene. Like, I can't be more eloquent or concise than that right now, but it got me right in the feels because fuck, was that a good scene. It was everything that I wanted, and it made me want Ford to be around for so much longer. He wasn't surprised that Bernard was there. It was literally all part of his plan all along. I wish I had a hat that I could tip to him, because, like, what a fucking plan, man. What a fucking plan. Like I said, I'm really glad that Maeve decided to stay and she's going to go after her daughter who is in Sector 3, Zone 15. Nope. Sector 15, Zone 3. And I'm excited to see where this all goes going forward with Maeve and Hector and Dolores and Teddy and just everyone. Clementine. Y'all, I'm so hyped because it was so fucking good. Like, this show, I can't. The fact that Ford's new narrative, like all this talk, like everything, is just for them to be free. I feel like I keep going back to Ford, but MV fucking P, man. Like, also, y'all, to have, like, at the very end, we saw the man in black, William, aka, same fucking difference, but when he got shot by Clementine, I think, he was so fucking happy. I'm like, dude, you're about to die, probably. But it's also what he wanted, right? It's weird because the man in black is definitely not a good person by any stretch of the imagination. But he wanted them to be free. That's what he wanted all along. And in the end, even though he was probably going to die because of their freedom, he was happy to see that they were free. It's like, it doesn't redeem him, but it's interesting. Also, kind of low-key feel bad for how much I hated Logan when he was actually not even the worst one. There's probably like a million more things that I could say about this episode and this season. Just brilliant everything. Like, sorry, I'm going to say another one right now before I end. But like everything just coming together. Ford told Bernard to bury the gun that Dolores found, which I was like, why did Bernard bury that gun? Like, I think that he's the one who buried it, right? And he did, but because Ford told him to, because it's the gun that she used to kill Arnold, so he knew that she could use it to kill him, and like just so many things coming full circle. The foreshadowing, the writing, the acting, just everything so beautiful in this show. I think in particular by Anthony Hopkins, Tandy Newton, Evan Rachel Wood. I don't know, the actor who plays Bernard, just all of them. Yeah, just please let me know what his name is down below. If you know it, I'm sorry that I'm not exactly sure based on the opening credits what his name is, but just such brilliant performances. Ed Harris, obviously, as well. It's just, like I said, I could ramble on and on and on about this, but I think that that's all that I have to say for this exact moment. I'm sure that I will think of a million more things that I should have said, and if I do, I will either include them in editing like I did last time, or I'll just talk about them going into next season. Also, y'all, if you're still watching this for some crazy reason and you want to leave a question for a Q&A, sorry, my cat is going freaking crazy right now. Loki, shush. Shush, shush. Shush. Anyway, yeah, question for the Q&A. If you want me to do a Q&A again, don't have to. Just if y'all want it, I will provide it. Leave the question down below with Q&A before it. And, yeah. I think that is all for season 1 of Westworld, y'all. It's definitely one of the best seasons of television I've ever seen. I very much look forward to the next 2 seasons with this show. And Loki, Mom is trying to do something here, bud. Anyway, yeah, I look forward to the next 2 seasons of this show and rewatching it again and just enjoying all the beautiful foreshadowing and writing and acting that was present within it. So, yeah. Until next time, I'll see you guys in season 2. Bye, guys.